A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy Monday morning. Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene, we're here with you, and what a weekend it was in the sports world. We'll have all the recaps of everything that went on. NBA action. We got the Brooklyn Nets are hot as hell right now.
They didn't mean to.
Running roughshod over the Western Conference teams that they faced on a 5-game road trip. We got
James Harden has a hell of an acting career ahead of him. That's all I got to say. If that's a foul, then we should just no contact.
Forearms. There were forearms.
Yeah,
forearms were shown.
We'll just 3-point shootout from here on out.
There's a head coaching change in Minnesota we'll talk about, as well as the knockouts over the weekend.
This was a bad weekend to get in a fight and lose. Whether you were a UFC fighter, a boxer, or an Oklahoma wide receiver, it was not a good week to start a fight and get your ass kicked.
It was not. Derrick Lewis and Oscar Valdez having the knockouts of the year in the UFC and in boxing. Oh, man.
Curtis Blades, I think he just figured out where the fuck he is.
It wasn't necessarily the first one. It was the second one.
Oh, no, it was the first one.
The second
Anytime
one.
you see somebody get hit and go, boom, that's the real bad sign.
Yes, it is. We'll get into that in the next hour here, as well as get to your comments and questions and everything you want talked about in the Democratic Republic of Sports. That is the Sportsocracy. Follow, like, and share the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. And don't forget to check out the merch store. It is now chock full of all kinds of goodness. The link is in the description of this video and every video that we do.
Yeah, if you want hats, you should order them quickly because 2 of those colors have been really popular. If you want a black one, I would probably do it today because of the orders we've gotten, about 50% of them have been on the black one.
Right.
This is a good-looking hat.
We are live once again from the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. All right, knockouts over the weekend. Oscar Valdez, he was a plus 240 underdog going into his title fight this
Good
weekend.
weekend for underdogs too.
Oh, was Derrick Lewis an underdog?
The biggest underdog in the last 6 years in UFC to win a main event.
Wow.
Why you would ever bet against Derrick Lewis, I don't know.
Right.
Because that man is the shit nightmares are made of. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google a picture of Derrick Lewis. He looks like the boogeyman. He's like 6'5", 280, and if this fight lasts 7 minutes or less, he's going to knock your brains out of the back of your skull.
Has he fought Francis Ngannou yet?
If they have, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I know it's been talked about, but it hasn't happened yet.
Imagine that mass of humanity that will take place at some point in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, that was what Derrick Lewis wanted after this fight.
And I think he earned it.
Anytime you can trend on Twitter and memes of your opponent become a thing, if you haven't seen the Marge Simpson one,
right?
That's good shit. I don't know who came up with that. Good for you.
Well, and here's the question: what was Curtis Blades doing at the time? Was he just trying to block? Because when he went down, and dude caught him with an uppercut right in the face and just sunk him to the ground.
Well, he might. For all I know, he was really sleepy, and he wanted Derrick Lewis to make him go sleepy. Because he did.
He did. He went real sleepy, and then the hammer fist came in. And the first one caught him pretty good. The second one was direct on the jaw, and I'm surprised it didn't break at that point.
Yeah, Derrick Lewis is the guy that famously said his balls were really hot. If you don't know who Derrick Lewis is, that's the guy.
In the 10th round of the WBC Junior Lightweight title fight, Miguel Burchell whiffed on 2 punches, and then Oscar Valdez punched him in the mouth so hard that he crumpled to the ground.
It's always a really bad feeling when you. We'll talk about. There's an Oklahoma wide receiver that he missed too. Don't start a fight you can't finish. It's a really bad idea.
I missed this, I think.
Oh, you haven't seen this? I can't remember the kid's name. I'll Google it in a minute. They were in a bathroom. First of all, if you see somebody with a cell phone, like you started talking shit, and there's somebody with a cell phone, you should probably start asking, why is this happening?
Yeah.
because the guy he was talking to was a kickboxer who beat the piss out of him on a public bathroom floor. And the only thing I could think of was, there's pee-pee there. Stop rolling around on the floor.
Wow. Spencer Jones.
Spencer, that's his name.
Oklahoma wide receiver Spencer Jones nearly loses an eye.
Yeah, they had to piece his orbital bone back together. Because old buddy hops on his back and just goes, fuck you!
Jeebus.
Yeah, it was, and the video goes on for way longer than you want it to, too. You're like, okay, I think we can be done now. I think you proved your point.
This is insanity. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna watch the video right now.
This is that's great television. Just watch it. Yeah, they roll around in a pea-soaked floor. There's also a very lovely puddle of some form of water. Yeah. Because every men's room has water in its floor. Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah. That's the thing.
Because people are gross. That's the one thing I ever learned working in retail. I worked in the warehouse at Best Buy, and one of our jobs at the end of the night was to clean the bathrooms. And that's when I learned how disgusting human beings are. And yes, every toilet it seems to get clogged, and there has to be the puddle of shit in the floor. Oh, God, poor guy.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Don't run your damn mouth.
Well, apparently it wasn't him that actually ran his mouth. It was the dude that was with him. And this is according to the guy that, broke his orbital bone.
Yeah.
Who then did a really douchey thing on Facebook. And I went, don't do that. Oh, if you're going to start some shit, I'll finish. Oh, go fuck yourself. You're 5'7", $140. Oh, I knocked out a guy that plays for Oklahoma. Cool. It was a slot wide receiver. Knock out one of the D linemen, then talk shit.
Right. Oh, come on. You can't expect a guy to fight above his weight class.
If you're gonna run your mouth, I can. Just no talking.
You just gotta be hard and take all comers, right?
That's right.
I set you up.
We're off to a fun start.
Set you up for that one.
We're off to a fun start today. I haven't even actually seen the comments yet, and
no,
I probably don't want to.
Yes, Kevin Vick says, "Oh, and women are nasty in public." Yes, they are. The women's bathroom always the worst.
Never seen one.
Oh, the women's bathroom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I just want to share for everyone to know. That's one thing that I took away.
I've heard Ron say, "Oh my God," like 4 times, which makes me want to just...
He's watching the video. He's watching the video.
I thought he was watching the comments. I was like, "Oh my God, what is happening?"
No, yeah, that's one of those forever unclean moments.
Forever unclean.
Oh God, yeah. It's not a good weekend for knockouts then. I didn't realize we had one in public.
It was not good.
Jesus.
If you got into a fight this weekend, you better hope to God you won it. Because if you didn't, you lost it aggressively.
In the NBA, I'm glad that the football season calms down. We're a couple of weeks removed. Things have calmed down with the trade talk, and the NFL's not catching a lot of headlines over the weekend. It was a whole lot about the golf that was going on, the NBA, all of that. And we have Draymond Green proving to everyone once again, just as soon as everything else dies down, let's just make an ass of ourselves on the basketball court. I love it. Again, he's one of these guys that I just want him to go away. I can't stand
Draymond Green. Oh, God.
Getting thrown out at the end of that game.
Well, this is the second time.
Causing his team to lose. That was the thing.
This is the second time this year Draymond Green has said, "I just had the dumbest play of the year." Well, you only get to do that once. And this one beats the last one. For you to get a double T with 10 seconds to go of a game you're leading, you have to be a complete train wreck. If you've ever officiated a game, you know how much time's left. You know you don't want to be and Draymond can't do it.
Right.
Is there anybody in sports that's more obnoxious than Draymond Green? In the comments of YouTube and Facebook, tell me any athlete that's more annoying than Draymond Green.
The only one that comes to my mind is Kyrie Irving.
He's up there, but he's not. He's at least good.
Yeah.
Draymond Green sucks.
Odell Beckham Jr.
also good.
Yeah.
There's nobody that the talking to production ratio on Draymond Green is like 50-1.
Right.
Patrick Holt said J.J. Redick. I can't disagree with that.
I actually saw the replay of that, and I thought I didn't
J.J.
think
Redick
he did anything wrong to get thrown out of that game. When J.J. Redick spun the ball at the official, the official just wasn't looking.
J.J. Redick looks like he created himself on NBA 2K and figured out the tattoo thing, but didn't do it right.
Okay.
I see J.J. Redick with tattoos. He's had them for 10 years, and I still look at him and go, that's dumb. You write poetry under trees. Stop it.
Does that mean he can't have tattoos?
Not like that. J.J. Redick has tattoos that look like he's gang affiliated. This is a dude that they did a spotlight on ESPN, and he talked about writing poetry under trees.
Right.
And now he looks like me. Don't do that. Still the weirdest look in the NBA.
I can't wait.
He looks like Chris Birdman Anderson now.
I can't wait for Grayson Allen to get all tatted up.
That would be equally ridiculous.
I mean, I get it's a lazy comparison, but they're essentially the same person, right? We
JJ and Grayson.
And Grayson, they're essentially the same person.
JJ's a better player.
Well, yeah, I mean,
which is not saying much, but
come on, JJ's had a good long career.
Yes. JJ Redick has shown if you can do one thing, you can have a steady career in the NBA.
Yeah.
He can shoot free throws and hit threes. He couldn't defend my coffee cup, but 15 years strong in the NBA.
Well, I mean, the Brooklyn Nets are proving right now that you don't really have to play defense.
Yeah, I'll wait till the playoffs. I've seen a lot of very chippy Nets fans that keep talking about, oh, look what we just did. Okay.
Yep.
You beat the Lakers without Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. The Lakers are a 6-point favorite tonight against the Wizards. There are college teams that wouldn't be more than a 6-point dog to the Wizards. Gonzaga would probably be a 6-point dog to Washington.
Mm-hmm. Recency bias because they just won over the weekend?
Yes. And they're still bad. And I hope Bradley Beal gets traded anywhere.
Well, I mean, if Dennis Schroeder doesn't play, then it's going to matter.
I mean,
you started to correct me, and I actually said it right that time.
I'm so used to you calling him Dennis Schrader, like he's a fucking NASCAR
driver.
Schroeder. There's only one Schrader, and it's Ken Schrader.
No, with Dennis Schroeder not playing, that really, I mean, I can kind of see why they're not, Vegas is not putting a big line on that game. Because the Lakers have not looked good without Anthony Davis, without Dennis Schroeder, losing to Miami and then losing to the Nets.
I want you to think about what you just said. They lost to the Nets and they lost to the Heat, who are better than the record says they are, because they got ravaged by coronavirus. Mm-hmm. They're not the Wizards. Take the Lakers.
Take the Lakers.
By a lot. Because they're going to win by a lot.
But, I mean, the Nets and the Nets fans are able to talk shit right now because their team is the hottest team in the NBA outside of the Utah Jazz.
Woohoo! I don't care. I don't care. Oh, look, we won, what, 4 in a row?
5.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. It was a 5
6
game.
in a row.
Okay. They've won 5 on this West Coast.
Yeah, here's the problem. 3 of those were against the Pacers, the Warriors, and the Kings. Mm-hmm. You beat the Clippers, Lakers, and Suns, too. I get it. Mm-hmm. But calm down. Calm down.
But I think, I mean, it's weird that it's happened without KD. To me.
Not really.
James Harden and Kyrie Irving have been playing well, but I get that they played a hurt Lakers team without Anthony Davis, without Dennis Schroeder at point guard. It was a tight game. It took everything they had to win that game.
I think they're better with only 2 of them. I think it actually helps.
Right.
Because there's only one ball.
Well, I mean, they've only been on the floor together for, 5 games? Between the 3 of them?
That sounds right. I don't think they're as good with all three of them as they are with two.
Yeah, but once they can figure it out with all three of them,
they're still not going to play defense.
Well, I get it.
You're still not going to be able to stop anybody.
The thing that baffles me about them is the disparity between their wins against good teams and their wins and losses against bad teams. Like, they lose to all of the bad teams. Mm-hmm. They have like I don't remember what it was, but I think like a week ago it was something like a 5-11 record against teams that were sub 500, and then they were like 10-2 against teams that are above 500. How do you explain that? Other than they just don't care when they play bad teams.
You play to the level of your competition.
Mm-hmm.
It's a common problem in the NBA, honestly. It's far more common than you would think it is.
Right.
But I still look at this team and go, how are you going to stop anybody when it matters? When the lights come on, how are you going to stop a team that can score on you?
It's a great point.
Oh, you can stop the Lakers without Anthony Davis. Woo. Yay. Another top-heavy team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Kyle Kuzma with the Lakers that's not all that impressive. Then you bring back the arguably top 3 best player in the NBA, and then all of a sudden, look, we're good again.
But you still don't believe that they're going to be a threat down the stretch?
No. I think they'll be a 2 or a 3 in the East,
mm-hmm.
and they're going to come up against one of these really good teams, and it's going to be over.
Okay.
I don't see how they could possibly beat the Celtics. I don't see how they could possibly beat Milwaukee.
I mean, the Celtics have a problem.
The
Celtics
Marcus Smart's
real
not
bad right now.
Yeah, Marcus Smart's hurt. That's
mm-hmm.
their big problem. He won't be forever. They need Marcus Smart. And without him, they don't defend well. Kemba Walker's a negative defender.
Right.
Jaylen Brown's playing out of position. Jason Tatum's playing out of position.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a big guy on the team that should be in the league, including Tristan Thompson. I don't care. Your biggest claim to fame is that you dated one of the Kardashians. You're not good at basketball.
Their shooting is one of the things that's going to drag them down. I read this morning, and there's a lot of truth to it that they just haven't found a replacement for Gordon Hayward, and they need something more on the wing.
Well, they also have a $28 million trade exception that they can do some stuff.
Oh, they can make a move. They're
gonna
make a move,
and they will. I couldn't tell you for who.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing Andre Drummond, and that makes me laugh. That's not going to happen. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can tell you what's not going to happen.
No. They have to find somebody to fill a spot on the wing. Because they already, and
I disagree with you on the wing. They have 2 of the best wings in the NBA.
Their bigs drive me crazy.
They do need a big. They need a big that's not Daniel Tice or Tristan Thompson.
Daniel Tice is bad.
He's not
a good defender.
There are about 10 big guys in the NBA that are in that Daniel Tice, Aaron Baines, Tristan Thompson. Like, why are you in the league?
And they have
what
3
do
of them.
you do good?
Right.
I know I didn't say that appropriately. I did it on purpose. You don't do much good.
They definitely need help, but I mean, they've got to find a way to get more consistent scoring.
Mm-hmm. And they will. It's early. It's early. Just remember, there are a lot. Every team in the NBA right now could convince themselves that they're a contender, except Washington.
Okay.
Now, you'd have to be a little delusional in some instances, but you could convince yourself.
You could convince yourself that
you're a contender.
Let's just start with Charlotte, that we're a contender?
Playoff contender.
They're definitely a playoff contender. I'm talking about, you're just talking about playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, outside of Detroit, Cleveland, and Washington,
mm-hmm.
and Minnesota. Minnesota, who just did a thing that hasn't been done in the NBA in 12 years.
Yeah. Minnesota fires Ryan Saunders, the son of Flip Saunders. And once again, it's just this awful. I mean, we all know why bad teams continue to be bad, because they keep making these types of decisions. I don't know. Do you believe in Chris Finch? Because
he's a very good coach.
He's the assistant from Toronto that they're apparently going to hire. Mm-hmm. They're apparently finalizing the deal to get him away from Toronto.
He's one of those. He was a contender for a couple jobs in the offseason. Houston was one of them.
Yeah.
He's a really good coach. Mm-hmm. He won a G League title. He's been an assistant with a bunch of teams.
Yep.
The thing I don't understand is how do you look at a team that's been together for a few months and just go, yeah, now we're going to bring in that guy. Hi.
Because you're 7-24, and what does it matter? We're 7-24. We're awful. We need to make a change now. Let's go ahead and get Chris Finch before anybody else can get in on him.
Well, that's the only way they were going to get him. Mm-hmm. That's the reason they did this. Mm-hmm. It's very bizarre that you make a coaching switch like this. The last time it happened, it was Lionel Hollins in 2009 going to Memphis.
Yep.
It's just really bizarre to see you bring in a coach from outside. You don't do this for a reason. Mm-hmm. And I don't get it. I don't get what your thought process is. I mean, unless it's just you're really sold on this guy and you knew he wouldn't take this job in the offseason.
Right.
If he has another alternative, he's not taking this job.
Right. And there were some that were miffed that they didn't go inside the organization.
Well, I mean, who you gonna hire? Pablo Prigioni? I don't think so.
No, the Vanderflute guy. What's his name?
David Vanderpool?
Yeah, Vanderpool.
Did you just call him Vanderflute?
I couldn't remember his name. I knew there was a Vander in there somewhere.
Indeed.
Old Vander, what's his face?
David Vanderpool is the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Dame Lillard was really pissed off about it because, I mean, he had been a coach with the Trailblazers and, had been heralded for his developing of C.J. McCollum into, that tandem of them into one of the best backcourts in the NBA. And okay, maybe he is a good coach, but the organization just sees Chris Finch as a guy who might be able to lift this team into something. Do you have any idea who the winningest coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves is as far as like winning percentage?
If it's not Flip Saunders, I'd be shocked.
It is. He's the only coach in Minnesota Timberwolves history that has an above 500 winning percentage.
Yeah, if it wasn't, I would have. To be honest with you, I don't know that I could name another coach in Minnesota Timberwolves history other than Tom Thibodeau.
Well, there's one in the Hall of Fame.
For what he did in Minnesota?
No, for being a player. He ran that front office. Yeah, he ran that front office for a long time.
Yeah, that's not really what I was talking about.
His
coaching acumen was always a little sketchy.
Agreed. Sidney Lowe. Sidney Lowe was a coach there for a little while.
Sidney Lowe got fired at NC State.
Right.
Any coach that gets fired at NC State should never have gotten an NBA job.
But this was before. Remember, this was like 90.
Oh, I understand that.
Something like that.
I'm just saying he didn't get dumber. He was the same guy when he was in Minnesota that he was with NC State.
Right.
Only thing I remember about him is that stupid red jacket. Oh, God, that thing was I don't consider myself to be a fashion guru or anything like that, but Jesus Christ, that thing was an eyesore.
He's like you're going to play the devil in a movie?
Yep.
That's Oh, God bless them. They always try.
Patrick Holt said today is National Margarita Day. Indeed.
Really?
Gives me a reason to drink tequila with lunch.
I'm not a big margarita fan.
What?
I don't know.
Margaritas are fantastic. I had a couple of them over the weekend, as a matter of fact.
Did you really?
I did.
Nice.
They were tremendous. What, do you just not like tequila?
It's the lime taste of the margarita. I'm not really a huge fan.
You don't like citrus?
Nah. I mean, I do like citrus. I like orange flavored stuff, but I like lime as an accent in a cocktail.
All right, so if you're
but not as the featured flavor, I guess.
All right, so you order a cocktail in a bar. What is it?
It's gonna be a 7-7.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gonna be whiskey and Sprite,
Ugh.
something like that.
I like whiskey by itself. I don't put anything with it.
Whiskey and ginger ale.
Ginger ale's disgusting.
No.
There is nothing. The only ginger I like on earth is me. That's it. I don't like ginger ale. I don't like ginger beer. I don't like ginger, the flavoring.
Ginger Spice from the Spice Girls. Hey.
Nope. Still posh. It's still Victoria Beckham.
You're so wrong about
I got a lot of shit about that, by the way. There are a lot of people that act like this, like they hung out with the Spice Girls last week. It's been 25 fucking years, for the love of God. Calm down.
Well, we all have our favorites. We're sports fans, of course. We're going to be divided and we're going to debate. It's what we're all about. Everybody has their own, everybody's got their favorite Spice Girl. Everybody's got their favorite Beatle.
I don't.
Don't tell me you don't like the Beatles.
Yeah, you know what my favorite Beatle is? When it ends. I like when it stops and it gets quiet again. New is always better.
What does that mean? Tank drinks 14s.
I'm going to assume it's a joke about your masculinity if I had to bet.
Oh.
I don't know exactly what it means.
7 and 7.
Oh, 7 and 7.
14s. Is that a dad joke? Is that how a dad orders a 7 and 7 in a bar? Hey, give me a 14. What is that? 7 and 7. Fuck you. Just tell me what you want.
What you really, really want.
See, that's Ron is a bartender, and I just played that out for him because it's perfectly correct. All right. Don't try to trick your bartenders. Don't make them think. They've been slinging drinks all night long. They don't give a shit about your funny little joke.
No.
Or
your life.
Yeah, they don't care about your life. They just want you to talk.
Yes.
So you stay and drink, obviously.
Your mother was upset that I don't like the Beatles.
Yes. See?
I just never got into it.
You're not ingratiating yourself with my family anymore.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. That's not my time frame.
Well, it's not my time frame either, but...
Yeah, but you're 80.
It's
you,
true.
You have been since I've known you.
I mean, it's the kind as music was always on in our house, and so...
I'll be secret time. I don't like a lot of music. I don't. I'm not a big musical guy. I can hear it and go, yeah, I like that. I don't go out of my way to listen to music ever.
What are you, a Mormon?
I think you can answer that question for yourself.
I do see a lot of similarities. I'm just saying.
I just figured out where you were headed.
Anywho, fuck off, Kevin Vick. I used to appreciate your opinion, but the Beatles do not suck. The Beatles are the greatest rock band of all time.
That's not even kind of true.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's influenced every kind of music.
Jonathan Wells said sports and music are the only two things left we're allowed to debate. Everything else you will believe my way.
Yeah.
This is why we talk about
Apologize sports. Now.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
I mean, that's what it all comes to. Everybody wants to hear apologies from everybody.
We got on this last week. I can't figure out the apology thing. Mm-hmm. Like, why? You're not sorry. First of all, you didn't really do anything wrong. I'm not going to specifically name what we're talking about, but if you know where we're from, you can probably figure out what I'm talking about.
Right.
You didn't do anything wrong. Stop apologizing. We have rendered the apology completely useless. You actually do something wrong and you apologize. It's like, well, it's the 14th apology I've heard this week.
Mm-hmm. Everybody has got to apologize for everything. You're going to offend somebody with something you said, and if something you said offends even the smallest the smallest percentage of people, you must apologize to be liked by everyone. That's where business is today, and that's why you see this everywhere.
It's one of the beauties of this show. Nobody has ever told us what to say. We've been doing this long. We have phenomenal sponsors, whether it's Angles, Wicked Weed, Monkey Knife Fights, Clarissa Marshall with EXP Realty. Mm-hmm. Nobody has ever said, hey, don't say that. That's the beauty of this, is that anything that comes out of our mouths is our actual opinion. Mm-hmm. And it drives me crazy for people you're apologizing to no one. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, what percentage of people actually give a shit?
The 10% of Twitter, which is, what was the latest stat?
Oh,
how many? 4% of people?
90% of tweets are sent out by 1% of people.
Yeah.
If you follow Twitter, you will follow yourself right into an icy grave.
But it's something like 4% of the American population is on Twitter to begin with.
Active on Twitter.
Is active on Twitter.
It's
right.
markedly
Well, I mean, that's where all of this comes from. All of this breeds from the active crowd of Twitter. And so that's the thing about it is, who are you really appeasing here? And is the outcry really enough? And people feel like they need to get ahead of everything. Like, if there's something that might have happened in the past that might offend someone, I need to come out now because they're going to crucify me for it later.
Yeah, let me, hey Ron, let me give my apology. Put my camera on me. I've been a stand-up comedian for a lot of years, which means if you've heard me say much of anything, I've probably pissed you off at some point. And I can't emphasize this enough. It's what I do.
Yeah.
I tell jokes. It's funny. Ha-ha. That's ha-ha. Mm-hmm. And if you want to keep canceling everything, eventually the funny people will stop being funny. And the smart people will stop being smart because they're scared to death of what they're saying. Mm-hmm. If I had $1 for every time we've said something on air and I've gone, oh, God, that probably didn't come off right, I would be a freaking millionaire. Not because I'm worried about the intent. I know who he is. I know who I am. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about what I meant. I'm worried about how you're going to take it. Mm-hmm. That's one of the beauties of this show is that we don't have people like that. We don't. People know who we are. They watch us all the time. Probably half the people that watch this show I talk to on a pseudo-regular basis, at least once a month. So you know who I am. You know who he is. I feel no urge to apologize for things. If you get offended at something I say, you're rest assured I probably didn't mean to offend you. I probably meant to make you laugh, and it didn't hit. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. If you're trying to appease everybody all the time, you're going to be broke. You're going to be broke, and your brain's going to be broken because it'll take you forever to figure out, can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. There's 4 of us in this room. We can't agree on shit the vast majority of the time.
No. And some people have that need. Some people have that need to be liked by everybody. I mean, hell, I'm one of these people. I can't stand to think of something that I've said has, offended someone in a personal way. Now, I'll say shit to piss you off about sports or whatever. I mean, I don't care about pissing off Tennessee fans about saying how trash their program is or whatever. But, truly something that has hurt somebody's feelings or offended them, like, I will admit when I'm wrong, when I've said something wrong. But you have to. It's all part of growing, but I don't feel like I need to dig up everything from my past to get out in front of it because I'm afraid.
No, here's the thing. I'm a stand-up, so that's what happens. Every once in a while I'm going to offend people. It's just the way it goes. Mm-hmm. I talk on a microphone 3 hours every day. And at some point, somebody's going to get offended.
The thing that really upsets me about this is that we continue to ask people to apologize for every little tiny perceived slight in their lives, and it takes the true meaning of an apology, a true apology, away. Because everybody apologizes for everything now. Like we had the story about the woman whose father made the damn Super Bowl trophy, demanding an apology from Tom Brady for throwing it because her dad once made a copy of the trophy that he threw.
Which is dumb.
It's the dumbest thing on the planet. And then, here's the story. Seattle Mariners president and CEO Kevin Mather has been forced to apologize after he made some, wide-ranging comments to a Rotary Club earlier this month. Apparently during this, he mentioned how 2 of the players in the organization couldn't speak English very well. One, he said their English was terrible, and another one, he said that his English was not tremendous. And now he's being raked over the coals for throwing out that these foreign players that he has, that he dared make a comment that they can't speak English very well.
I just want to know who's offended by that.
Right.
Yeah, I got news for you. If I went to a foreign country, you know what they would say about me? His Spanish sucks. I took 3 years of it. I can say my name. That's what I got.
Right.
Took 2 years of French. You know what I can say? Not even my name. Right. There's nothing offensive about that.
No.
If you want to be offended all the time, then more power to you. But if you keep doing this and you cancel everybody that says everything, eventually you're not going to have anything to entertain you. Mm-hmm. And I got news for you. Here's my little spicy hot take. We're not all supposed to think alike. I don't know who needs to hear that, but apparently somebody does. Because if you look back through history, anytime that a whole big group of people start thinking the exact same way, you know what it leads to?
Shit goes bad.
Bad shit.
Yeah.
It leads to bad shit in a hurry.
It's very true.
Oh, I've wanted to say that for so long, and it felt so good.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear the tape or anything from the Rotary Club meeting. I don't think these are things that were said in spite. It was just, yeah, he can't speak very good English. Okay. I mean, thanks for filling us in.
That would be like somebody saying, he goes back for that third plate to the buffet. Well, no shit. I think you could take one look at me and go, that guy right there probably likes food. I bet he likes beer, and I bet he says bad words quite often.
But when everything is the biggest deal ever, then big deals get lost in the shuffle. We lose what's really important, what's really offensive, what a real apology should actually be. Apologies are meaningless if they have to come for every little thing.
Yeah.
So, sorry, not sorry.
There are things that you should apologize for. The vast majority of them are not things that have been apologized for in the last week.
Right.
They're not. And this is one of the things we pride ourselves on this show is not talking about political shit. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because we figured out a long time ago. Nobody gives a shit.
Right. I just want to go back to the George W. Bush when he had the Red Sox team at the ceremony where he was honoring them for winning the World Series, and he said that one of the things he shared with Daisuke Matsuzaka was that they both didn't speak English too good.
I did not remember that.
It's one of the greatest statements in political history.
You're not wrong.
You're right. But today there would be a group calling for, an apology because he offended somebody who laughed at the joke.
Uh-huh. I literally, for the last week, I have not seen the little ticker on ESPN that didn't have somebody apologizing for something.
Mm-hmm.
And I got news for you. We work for ESPN, and I will happily say this out loud. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If you don't believe me, look at the ratings. Watch the eyeballs. They will tell you the tale.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares. We've made this apology tour so absolutely asinine that it doesn't mean anything anymore. You've said it so many times that it doesn't mean anything. Oh, you're sorry for something you've done 100 times. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's a fake bullshit apology. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. To be frank, I wish somebody would just stand up and go, yeah, you got offended. Your feelings, your problem. I want that on a shirt. Real big.
Another great idea.
Your feelings,
coming
your
soon.
problem.
Coming soon to the Sportsocracy merch store.
Yeah, I could 100% do that. With a picture of my face. My face, your feelings, your problem.
Speaking of, don't forget to get your hat orders in. We are getting a lot of pre-orders, and we appreciate everybody who has jumped onto it. But if you want the first run of Sportsocracy hats that are coming out, you need to get your pre-order in now while supplies last.
Yeah, and the logo's cut out of leather, and I don't know how to do that. So I am at the mercy of how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
If you, I'll put the link in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. It's a real simple process. It takes like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But we only have so many of every color because I had to.
I'm excited. I was driving around this weekend and it just dawned on me. It's football season again.
It never stops being football
Turn
season.
on the local radio and hear play-by-play of FCS football. It felt really weird, but in a way, it was kind of a warming feeling. I'm like, oh, there is some football going on. Now, FCS football is not really my thing, but we do have some extra intrigue this year with Deion Sanders being a head coach down at Jackson State. His Tigers won 53-0 over an NAIA program. Edward Waters. Sounds like a bank. That's Edward Jones. Edward Waters is the program that they beat 53-0. Unfortunately, it was a bit of mixed emotions after the game when Deion went back to the locker room or to the coach's office and found that all his shit had been stolen, which is quite unfortunate. And then apparently somebody made a statement saying that no, it was actually the items were misplaced. And then Deion went on Twitter again saying, whoever's saying that is wrong because my shit got stolen, basically.
How the hell does that happen? Do they not lock the office?
Well, I mean, I guess the security in FCS football games is not as high as it would be for normal stadiums. So.
I got to admit, and now look, I'm going to level. There's a Deion Sanders helmet right here. He's my favorite pro athlete of all time. Well, one of my top 2 favorite athletes of all time.
Okay.
I loved what he said. His interview after that game, I expect everybody to be better. From the security guys to the fans to whoever did this, I expect you to be better. I loved it. I did. I loved it.
Yeah.
I watched everything Deion did yesterday and went, we need more of Deion Sanders in college football.
And we're gonna have it.
I don't know that we are.
Really?
No. I think Deion Sanders is he's just a rare guy. He's a different Deion Sanders has probably made $100 million in his life. Mm-hmm. He doesn't need to do this. He wants to. And that's where I give him all the credit in the world. Mm-hmm. It is hard to coach 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. Hard. And if you don't need to do it, it is something that you have to have a real love of doing, which he obviously does. And I salute that to the highest extreme. And the fact that you're willing to end the press conference instead of just hiding from the fact some bullshit happened while you were on the field. It's the first thing he said. Mm-hmm. I expect you to be better. I came here for us to be better, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. I watched it like 6 times. Because there are so many coaches that would have hidden from this and just make it a thing, and you would have read about it on Twitter later.
Right.
Deion said, nope, not here. We're not doing that bullshit here. Mm-hmm. Here, everybody in this building is held to a higher standard, and I loved it.
Well, I'm sure there will be some discussions about upping the security for future games. After his credit card, wallet, and watches were all stolen, he said, "Thank God I was wearing my chains on the sidelines, or else those would have been gone too." But I mean, he is a guy who is trying to build a culture there at Jackson State and put HBCU football on the map before he makes his leap to the Power 5.
I
honestly think that's coming.
I don't know that he will.
You think he'll stay there forever?
I'm not saying forever. Look, a lot of people have causes, and they're not willing to sacrifice themselves for their cause.
True.
Deion Sanders is. Have we ever talked about Jackson State in the 4 years we've been doing this?
Never.
No. You know why we're talking about them? Because Deion Sanders is there, and he knows that, and that's his goal. That's the reason he's doing this, is to get us talking about this. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Mm-hmm. You've done exactly what you intended to do. If you don't win another game at Jackson State, which he will, because that's a team that's got some talent.
Yes.
I mean, I know they played a very low-level school. I want you to think about what I'm going to say. This is a team that's only been together for like 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Super.
The fact
athletic.
you could score 53 points on air is impressive.
Super athletic, though. I mean, if you watched any of just the highlights from that game, the jet sweeps and the creativity that they have on the offense, it's going to be a fun team to watch. And he's getting blue-chip athletes to come there. Now, his son's one of them. But he's also brought in some pretty good talent around his son as well. And he's already begun to get into the Power 5 recruiting circles because he stole one kid away from Georgia. I think he stole another kid away from Alabama. Florida was the other one that he stole a kid away from. I think the sky is the limit for him at Jackson State.
I do too.
But I think at some point, maybe that the call from Florida State is going to be too great.
I don't know that that's true.
I mean, they're going to be calling in about 6 months. So
not necessarily. Mike Norvell's doing things.
Oh, okay.
I'm back rocking my Florida State stuff.
You got a little hope?
I do.
Okay.
All right, we got 15 minutes left in the show. We've got
Okay.
NFL things to discuss.
NFL things to discuss. What's going on in the National Favorite League?
The national.
It's our National Favorite League.
It should tell you everything you need to know that after the weekend we just had in the NBA. Do you know what the main story on ESPN.com is right now?
Pat Mahomes had a baby.
Well, that's one that's in the headlines. The number one, the headline story is Todd McShay's mock draft from 2 weeks ago. I should tell you everything you need to know. And we're going to talk a shitload of draft on this show.
Yes.
We've got a March Madness contest coming up in, what is it, 3 weeks? Mm-hmm. We're going to talk a good amount of college basketball. We're going to talk a lot of draft. We're going to talk a lot of NFL. NBA talk, it's going to be sprinkled in there. That's going to be the kale on this plate. Mm-hmm. The NFL is going to be the pork chop. Oh, sorry. Do I need to apologize for that I eat pork? Is that a problem? Does that offend anybody?
That does offend some people.
Anybody pissed off?
I think you're okay. I don't think there's anyone watching us that would look at us and go, yeah, those guys don't eat pork.
It's a lot of salads, bro. That's all I'm saying. It would take a lot of salads.
To make you look like that?
Yeah, for the two of us.
Oh, everybody.
Actually, the three of us. Frankly, the only one in this room that is Ron.
Uh-huh.
And he eats more than any of us. Ron's the smallest person in this room by Ron. We all outweigh Ron by Ron.
Yeah,
and he eats more than all of us. Mm-hmm. Which just pisses me off.
I've always hated people like that.
I eat pineapple for breakfast.
It just, how the fuck did you wake up and eat 6 biscuits and gravy and you just look like you haven't gained an ounce?
I eat pineapple for breakfast. That's all I can. And I'm pissed about it.
You should be.
By the way, I do love all of you that hold me accountable to my diet on Facebook. I got like 10 messages of, that's not on your diet. Because I posted a Wicked Wheat beer with, what was it, a taco salad?
I didn't see it.
I forgot.
I
think it was a taco salad.
I tune you out when we're not around.
That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
Right. So you were getting health tips while you were on your vacation.
I got a lot of people that said, is that on your diet? And what is this diet? And how can I do it? Mm-hmm. Look, I tried to go on a full beer diet. And my wife threatened to leave me. So that didn't happen. Patrick Holt, I love you so much. Because I
thought it, and I didn't say it.
I see you. I see you. But I know what you're trying to say.
Yep. We all know where he's going with that. So in the NFL, what else happened this weekend? We still haven't heard anything about Drew Brees, which kills me.
Oh, yeah, that's coming.
And there's still all the rumors of, well, is he going to try another season?
No.
No,
because that team's not going to be anywhere near what he's used to. The big rumor is I can now confirm that Kirk Cousins was the quarterback that Denver was after.
Nice.
They almost made a blockbuster trade. It was with Minnesota for Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. I had heard that, but I couldn't confirm it.
And
I can now confirm
is that deal still on the table?
It's still on the table to the best I can tell. I think Denver wants to feel out if they can get Deshaun Watson. That's the reason that hasn't happened yet. Mm-hmm. They're not getting Deshaun Watson. They're not. Can we stop doing this, please? I do think the Deshaun Watson thing is going to take much longer than people think.
When do you think that heats up?
With Watson?
Yeah. Is it going to be like right before the draft? Is it going to be...
No. It's as we get through the draft process. I think Houston has to fall in love with somebody. Mm-hmm. I think they'd fall in love with somebody that they think they can get at either 2 or 3. The reason I've given the Jets the best chance is Houston can take any player they want to, not named Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. If they fall in love with Zach Wilson, so be it. If it's Justin Fields, so be it. If it's Trey Lance, so be it. They can take whoever they want. They're not at the mercy of the Jets. If you trade with Miami, you're sitting behind New York, who I'm telling you right now can get a 1+ for Sam Darnold. Mm-hmm. And there's part of me that kind of hopes we do that.
And is Big Ben going to get cut?
Depends on how much he's willing to rework that deal. If Ben's not willing to play for $20 million, he won't be a Steeler next year.
No.
I mean, that's the heads or tails of it.
Yeah. It's a pitiful ending. Cam Newton's talking again.
Oh,
There are not 32 better quarterbacks than him in the NFL right now.
Did you see the kid at his camp?
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Holy shit! Cam Newton did a youth camp over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
One of the kids at the camp started yelling at him that he was ass. Let's see, he called him ass at one point. He called him trash about 10 times.
Oh.
Said he was a free agent and he was getting ready to be broke. And I'm just sitting here like everything he says going. Like this kid is spitting fire. And then everybody, and then that turns into a thing with Jamel Hill of he should respect Cam Newton.
Oh my God.
If Cam didn't talk so much, that might happen. Mm-hmm. But you were awful and you talked a lot. So what did you think was going to happen?
Do we not all remember the preseason hype videos that he kept posting of I'm a lion and I'm going to roar and I'm going to show everybody that I'm one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL still? No, you came in and you showed everybody you don't have a place in this league.
Yeah, here's my live recreation of Cam Newton's roar. He was supposed to be a panther. Just
Aw, poor little kitty cat.
If I could make my eyes do that Puss in Boots thing, I totally would have, but I can't.
That'd be quite impressive.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize that Cam Newton got balled out by a 12-year-old. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, it was phenomenal. And then it turned into this thing of respect, and it went down a path, and I'm like, don't forget, never forget, that kid's right. I saw no lies told. Mm-hmm. He is a free agent. He's already said he doesn't have the money to continue spending money on clothes the way he did. So the gonna be broke thing's probably accurate.
Right.
And, by the way, he is ass. And trash.
And trash.
And all the other adjectives that they can
ass,
say.
trash, and sewer water, and just dumpster all of dumpster fire. What's your other?
Sewer juice.
Sewer juice.
Big fan of dumpster juice, sewer water.
Dumpster juice, that's the one.
Sewer water.
Hot
garbage.
I just love the fact that he's still talking and still running that mouth. And of course, if you keep doing that, people are going to come back at you. You keep saying things like there aren't 32 guys better than me, and we're just going to point at stats. And
Scoreboard.
Go, yep, scoreboard. We'll Jim Boeheim them.
I'm not. I've done all the political shit I'm going to do today. We can talk about Jim Boeheim later in the week.
Political shit.
Yeah, we can talk about Jim Boeheim later in the week. Very little can make me look at Jim Boeheim and go, he ain't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Might not have said it exactly right, but the next quarterback. So you asked me before I got off on a tangent.
Yeah.
How long do I think the Deshaun Watson thing is going to take?
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to get closer to the combine because I think you're going to have to get one of these kids in front of Houston. Problem is that if you don't make this deal with the Jets could fall in love with Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson's the guy you fall in love with, and that's the only one I think you could, the price on Deshaun Watson is going to come down. I'm going to keep saying this. The price on Deshaun Watson is going to be 2, that Seattle pick and Seattle's pick next year. That's what they will give up for Deshaun Watson.
Still 3 first-rounders. That's a lot.
And one of them's a very high first-rounder. Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold won't be included in this deal. If he is, it's 2 in Darnold, then 1 of Seattle's picks. It's probably the one next year.
Right.
That's what he's worth. He's not worth 5 1s or 3 1s and 3 2s and Darnold and an airplane and a bag of all this other bullshit. He's not worth that. There's no player in the NFL that's worth that.
Right. You cannot sacrifice the entire future of your
And if
roster
I read one more clickbait article about, the price on Carson Wentz just dropped the price on Sam Darnold. No, it didn't, because they're nothing fucking alike. Mm-hmm. You got one guy that you get to set the market on because he hadn't signed a deal, and you got another one's one of the most overpaid players in the league.
Yeah.
It actually raised the price.
Yeah. Sam Darnold is worth definitely more than Carson Wentz was.
Alexander said, what if he holds out? Deshaun Watson's not going to be a Texan. I can't tell you where he's going to go. I can tell you he's not going to be a Texan. The question is, how low does his price go? And I think the Jets and Dolphins already know. Everything I've been told is they know. We're negotiating against each other. Mm-hmm. And the Jets know they have the upper hand because they can look at Houston and go, oh, you want to trade to 3? You want Zach Wilson? Oh, we're in front of you. Mm-hmm. We're in front of you, and we'll take him right in front of you.
And they have more capital than the Dolphins do to back it up.
They do. Yeah, they do.
So, they've got 2 first-round draft picks in the next 2 drafts.
Yeah. And they've got Darnold that will fetch them another one. Mm-hmm. I think the most likely scenario is the Jets wind up with Deshaun Watson for less than you think.
Yeah. I think Houston has to make the move. Houston will be pressured into making the move. All this stuff they're talking about, we have no plans to trade him and all that. That's what they have to say right now, because that entire city would burn that franchise to the ground if they don't play this right. I mean, they've already fucked it up. They've already lost, I would say, a good portion of their support in that town.
It's gonna be a tough sell, but that's been my claim with Houston the whole time. Is they want things they can put on the field for 2021 because they know they're gonna struggle to sell tickets. And for the first time in NFL history, it matters to these smaller market franchises that you sell tickets. And yes, Houston is a smaller market franchise, not because of the size of the market, but because of the size of the support. You've now lost J.J. Watt. You're going to lose Deshaun Watson. You've lost DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, the support's dwindling. This is one of the 5 least supported teams in the NFL right now, and it's not even debatable.
Do you feel like the NFL is less because the bigger market franchises are not winners right now?
I mean,
you've got L.A., you've got the Rams, who are like the biggest, best.
It's a terrible market. It's not a big market in the NFL.
What? L.A. is not a big market.
Never has been. It's why every team that's ever been has left. They had to build $1 billion stadium, and guess what? If you don't win, they still won't show up. L.A. is a shit sports town. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
We can get out of fun. What are the worst sports cities in America? Because L.A.'s 1 and it's not close. L.A.'s 1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 4?
Yep.
Okay.
They have that many teams that they get 3 spots on the list because they suck that bad.
I don't remember who it was. I heard somebody talking over the weekend on national radio about how isn't it weird that all the smaller markets in the NFL right now are the most successful?
And it doesn't.
You've got
in the NFL,
Kansas
it doesn't
City,
matter.
Tampa Bay, Green Bay. You don't have to be in a big market, but there was kind of this air of, well, the larger markets need to be good to make the NFL great, and I disagree with that completely.
It would. I mean, it's never going to hurt you think about the teams that are in big markets. The Jets have a ravenous fan base. We show up no matter what. We show up to be pissed. We show up with bags on our heads to tell them to go fuck themselves. Giants, same way. Philadelphia, same way. I'm trying to think of the biggest markets in the league. L.A. we've already talked about. It just doesn't matter. There are crazy rabid fan bases of teams in small markets. It just doesn't matter. So, I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs could be the most popular team in the NFL 2 years from now.
Right.
Wouldn't shock anybody. And if you've ever been to Kansas City, they have barbecue, and you can't figure out what state you're in. Am I in Missouri? Where am I right now?
Right.
Doesn't matter.
All right. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll have, of course, all your latest sports news updates throughout the day. Talked about this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and, of course, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, 3 to 5 weekdays.
If you haven't gotten your pre-orders in for hats, please do it today. Please. It makes it so much simpler for me. Because then I know how many to order on the next one. It makes it so much easier.
Check out the merch store. Link is in the description of this and every video that we do. Find us at the Sportsocracy on all the social medias. Like, share, and follow it. Go to sportsocracy.com as well.
We're going to announce our March Madness contest tomorrow. We got all the rules, all the logistics. It's going to be a little involved, so you're going to want to be here tomorrow to hear it explained. Because it's a little involved. It's a cool contest that there's no doubt you can't... So your bracket can't bust in this tournament.
Gotcha.
Like if you go 16-16 in the opening round, you're not doomed. You still have a chance to come back. This is a way different contest than you've ever played before. what was it, Pool Party Pools?
Mm-hmm.
Is they're the one that's actually the impetus behind this. It's a really cool contest. We're really looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be announced tomorrow, at this time tomorrow.
We are once again live from the Wicked Weed studio in Woodfin, North Carolina. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
We'll see you this afternoon.